Hey everyone, welcome back. We are here with another craft with me, and today we are crafting for me. So, this basket here has all the things I'm gonna need for this craft with me. I actually got this basket from Michael's. When I picked it up at first, I was like, what am I going to use this for? I really wanted it just because it was navy blue. And I was like, I know I don't really need it, but I want it because it's navy blue. And now I was like, okay, I can put all of the items that I need for my craft with me videos in here, of course, if they can all fit. So we're going to start today with labels. I am going to be creating these labels for my baskets, the where I keep things in my craft space. So I want to put labels on them so I know what's in each basket. I got these from Amazon. They came, you know what? I'm not even sure how many came in the pack. It may have been 10, I believe, but they fit nicely on my baskets. I've already tried them out, so we're going to get them all labeled. And there is actually a film on here, so I'm going to remove the film. And you know what? I'm only going to do that one for now, so there's not too much dust on each of them as I go along. Let's start with weeding. So this vinyl here is a removable vinyl by it is Oracle, excuse me, 631. So this is their removable vinyl, and I chose removable vinyl for this particular project. You know what? Let me cut this because trying to manage all of these letters at one time looks like it's going to be a hassle, and I don't want to do that to myself. I chose the removable vinyl because, these labels are not going to get wet or anything like that. If I ever want to change the basket name, I can do that. It'll be easy to get off. So I chose their removable vinyl for this. I'm not going to sit here and talk you guys ear off while I weed this. So I think I'm going to just throw on a little music for you. Now this one looks like it's about to be a hassle because these letters are tiny. But you know what? Let's see. Let's not speak that. Let's speak positivity. Okay? This is not going to be too bad. Okay, I've finally got it all weeded out. It wasn't too bad. I mean, they're small letters, so can't expect for it to weed as if it were big bold letters. So there we go. Gonna cut these in half. All right, now I have that one, or the plastic taken off of that. There's this plastic film on all of these. I guess maybe I should have taken the plastic film off before I hit record, but you know, I didn't really think about that. But it's all good. Gonna get it off and get these prepped to put the vinyl on top. Okay, so I got the last one removed, the film off of that. I am going to clean these because although I just took off that protective film, there's still already some dust on every single one of them. So I'm gonna just clean them off really quickly with my rubbing alcohol. And maybe I'll do them one by one. So like I'll clean them off one by one. This way, while it's sitting here waiting for me, it's not collecting any dust. All right. I'm gonna get got some transfer tape here. Let's start with, yep, that was an amazing cut. All right. So for a while, I did not have an area to keep my blanks. Well, I did, but it wasn't efficient. It was actually pretty bad. I had it like stored in a tote bag that I had made, and it just did not work. I did not like it. Um, but you know, as time goes on, you get to improve your storage in your craft room. Okay, I'm gonna put this blank on here. Blanks. Yes, as time goes on, you will be able to improve the storage in your craft room. And that is what I was able to do this year. I am so grateful. That looks great. I love it. Okay, let's get the rest of them done. But I am so grateful that I was able to change up my storage for my craft room this year. And it has made things so much better. I can find things, and I know that if I go in this drawer, I will find, whatever I'm looking for in that drawer. And same thing with my bins that I have, the baskets, I should say, that I have. So just putting labels on the basket is basically the icing on the cake, just to make sure that now when I go to pull the bins open, I'm pulling open the right bin. Because let me tell you, I have already several times pulled out a bin and I'm like, oh, nope, wrong bin, wrong bin. So I'm like, clearly I need to label these bins so I can open up the right bin the first time. But again, very grateful for the organization that has happened in this craft space of mine. right. So we have all of the labels done and ready to go on the baskets that are in my craft space. And this is just a simple font from, I think it's from Canva. Yes, this is a simple font I found in Canva. I can link the name of the font down below, but we are going to move on to our next craft. For my next craft, I have this journal that I purchased from Amazon, one of my favorite places to buy things from. But I bought this with the intention of using it for when I am reading my Bible, so I can take notes and, all the things of when you go to read certain things where you want to jot down some notes. Of course, it is my color, navy, and and then it has the little strap to keep it closed. So I'm going to remove this. I'll have it linked down in the description if you're interested. I did notice that they had several colors. So navy blue is not the only color if that's not your thing, but it's just regular lined paper. And I have honestly been super excited to use this, but I wanted to record first. So I got a moment, I'm recording it, and of course I want to put something on it before I really crack it open. So I'm going to move this to the side. And this is the same vinyl, the Tech Rack vinyl that I used in my last craft with me. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can check it out. I will leave the link down in the description box so you can check that out. But I used this vinyl. Oh, no. I'm about to lose my dot to my eye. Okay. I used this vinyl on the toothberry bag that I made. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Let me weed out these middles. I really miss my weeding ring thing. I don't even know what it's called, honestly, but you can put it on your finger and it grabs all the pieces when you're weeding, and it disappeared. I have no idea what happened to it. One day I had it and the next day it was gone. And at this point, I'm thinking that it somehow got into the garbage and I didn't realize it at the time because I've cleaned my craft space several times since then, moved things, rearranged things, and have not found it. So I'm pretty sure at this point I made a mistake and threw it in the garbage somehow. But at some point, I'm going to need to get another one because I really miss it for little things like this. All right. I've got this all weeded out. And it just says, with God, all things are possible. I'm going to fix the dot to my eye. It seems a little shifted. Okay. All right, let's move all of this out of the way. And we're going to get this put on here. Okay, so I got the space all cleaned up and my heat press mini seems to be ready to go. I just want to make sure I have this centered where I want it to be. Should I do this? I didn't even think about this, doing this, making it right justified. I don't know. You know what? I did not think about this, but now I feel like I should have been thinking about it. I like it, but let's see. No, I'm gonna go middle. I'm gonna go middle. Let me just make sure that it is good. Okay. So this is like a faux leather material, and I just put my Easy Press Mini on low because I don't want to ruin this. And of course, with the Easy Press Mini, you always do the continuous movement. It was designed to work this way. I want to make sure I get all those edges. Let me see. Did I get over here? Okay. Maybe I should draw the heat out first. So let's turn it over. Okay. That should be good. It's a little warm. Ooh, I see a little spot there that I need to address right at the edge of this W. So I don't want to shift it too much. I just want to make sure it's down. Okay. So I'm going to put this back on and get that W. That was the only spot I saw. Okay. There we go. One more time. All right, let's check it this time. Yes, it is down. It is down, and I love it. All right, there you have it. So now I can finally write in my book. I have been waiting, like I said. So, okay. And then, does it cover it? Oh, perfect. Perfect. And I wasn't even measuring that. So this came out awesome with that. All right, let's move on to our next craft. All right, we're going to do a little bit of sublimating for this craft. You will find that I do love sublimation. So you will probably see sublimation often in my craft with me's tutorials, all of that. So this here is a magnetic bookmark. It's very thin. And, basically you close it onto the page that you want to bookmark. And then you can open it, and put it to the next page. So what I'm going to do is lay these on here and sublimate them. And honestly, because they are so small, we can sublimate them all at once. At least we should be able to. But the first thing I have to do is remove these borders here. This was for the registration lines for the Cricut. And when you're doing sublimation, you don't always, I should have just cut it here. When you're doing sublimation, sometimes you may want to allow your Cricut to cut it out, and sometimes you may not. Um, a lot of times I don't have the Cricut cut it out for me. I just cut around these registration lines. Sometimes I don't even print it out through my Cricut. I just print it from a picture that I might have, and I do it that way. If you do use Design Space to cut it out for you, to print it for you, which I did because I wanted to make sure that my measurements on these two things were precise, you can just cut it off if you don't want it to cut it out for you. So what I'm going to do is tape these both down. I'm going to use my heat tape. Never want to use any other type of tape because you will have a mess on your hands, a ruined project, along with some frustration. And we don't want that. So I'm going to tape these down to this paper and then take it over to my heat press. All right, these are ready for the heat press. Okay, so I have down butcher paper to protect my heat press, and I have my heat press set at 346, and I'm going to press it for 60 seconds. You want to turn your project over so the paper is touching the top of your press. And I'm going to put a piece of butcher paper on top to also protect the press and close that down. All right. So it is a good thing that we protected the press, because as you can see, there's some ink on here. I am going to let this cool down and take it back to my craft desk and then reveal it to you guys. Okay, so this has cooled down, and I am going to use my weeding tool to pull up this tape. So while I do this, let me explain what happened. This is the second go round. For whatever reason, the first one cracked. I don't know if it was too hot at the time and I should have let it cool down. I don't know, but I know that it cracked. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to do this again. This was the second press for this. So let's see how these turned out. I'm hoping that they look good. All right. Time for the reveal. Okay. Okay, they came out nice. I will say, I am a tiny bit disappointed because I'm used to sublimation having a lot of vibrancy to it, the colors being super vibrant, and this is really dull. So I'm not sure. I think it might be the brand because they just lackluster. They're very lackluster to me. However, I still like the design. Obviously, they can still be used for what I want to use them for. But maybe I need to look for a different brand if I wanted to give these to someone. What you could use these for, so say if you are hosting an event, either a personal event, a church event, what other type of gathering it might be, this is something that you can add into like a swag bag. If you're giving out things, you can have your design and then get, one of these little tiny zip bags and put them in there. And then this can just be something that you drop into their bag. But we are going to have to find a different brand of these, because if you want to give these to people, at least if I want to give these to people, I want it to be a wow factor and not a dull factor. But I still think they're cute because, again, they can be used for what I want to use them for. All right, let's move on to our very last craft. For our last craft, I'm going to be making a hoodie, and I'm using this beautiful. I love this. I'm not that much of a purple girl, but this is really nice. So we're going to be using this puff vinyl from Tech Wrap. I am still trying to learn the settings for this. So as you can see, like right here, it cut all the way through, but it didn't do that anywhere else. So I know to be careful when I get here. I'm going to weed this out. And oh my gosh, one thing I am learning about Tech Wrap's HTV, like their heat pressing material, it just weeds beautifully. Not that other brands don't, but this just weeds. Like it just feels so nice when you're pulling it. All right, now let me be careful at this M. Here, let me pull this out. All right, that came out pretty good. And then we just get these middle pieces. There we go. And it just says, yes, I'm cold. Me, 24/7. So because I am a Bible reader, this is definitely a play on from the Bible, because usually it has the book of the Bible, which I'll say like Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 7, that type of thing. But because these are my words, it says me 24/7, because I'm cold all the time. So I am going to get the hoodie and grab my hoodie. Let me move this to the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on this black hoodie. I am such a hoodie girl. I love them. They are comfy. I have so many of them. And clearly, I never think it's enough. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is lint roll. If I can get this off. Okay, here we go. Yes, we got it. Want to lint roll, make sure all the lint is off. So the vinyl, the puff vinyl, that is, can adhere to the hoodie with no problem. Now, I told y'all in my other craft with me video that I am very much a person who measures. And when it comes to shirts and hoodies, these are the things that I measure to the T. So y'all gonna have to excuse me because this is what I do, and I make sure that it is how I want it to be, because I don't want it to slightly be to the right or slightly be to the left. I don't want that. I don't want it to be crooked. So y'all just got to bear with me a moment. Wow, I did pretty good with that. It's 5 and okay. That's not too bad. I'm going to shift this just a tiny bit. Yes, I can be that particular. I will say, I'll use the word particular. I can be that particular with how much I shifted and all of that. So, bam, we are good here. This is good. And this is not that sticky. And since I want this to stay right where it is before I take it over to my heat press, I'm going to use some heat tape so it will stay right where it is. And I'm going to put just 4 pieces, 1 for each side. Make sure that, and then of course I do my whole hold it up business to make sure it is where it should be. Okay, this is good. So let's get it over to the heat press and see how this turns out. Okay, so I'm gonna get this onto the heat press, and you know what I realized? I realized that I did not do the pre-press, so I don't want to move this. I don't want to mess it up, like, because you know I sat there and did all that measuring. So what I'm gonna do is just use my mini to heat press the area, because you want to make sure you get out any moisture. There's obviously no wrinkles, but you at least want to get that moisture out, because that's how the vinyl would adhere to the hoodie a bit better. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move the hood out the way so we can close it and slide the hood off to the side. And I'm pressing this 309 for 15 seconds, and I have heavy pressure on here. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna let this cool down. We might need to give it one more quick press. So I'm gonna let this cool down a bit because it's pretty hot. Although I'm impatient. All right, it's warm to the touch. Yeah. It looks good. Yes, you can feel that it's raised. I am going to give it just like another 5 to 10 seconds. All right. Okay, so we have finished all of the crafts, all of the things I wanted to do for myself. Of course, I got my labels done for my baskets, and this is going to make my life a whole lot easier, like I mentioned. So I will be going in the right bins for whatever I need. So this is functional, and I'm here for it. These I love the design. I really do. But as I said, they just lackluster. I need to find something that's a little bit more vibrant. If any of you have done bookmarks with sublimation like this and you have gotten better results, please let me know down in the comments. Let me know what brand you purchased. If not, I will have to do some testing and figure it out, because this is something that I would love to give to people along with like a gift, especially if I know that they are a reader. This is something that I would love to put in as just like a little bonus, or like I said, um in a bag, like a swag bag for events. These would be perfect. So we got to find something else. But I still love them and I still will be using them. And of course, with God, all things are possible. And this is so true to me. And I am happy that I am able to use my book now and write all the things in it. And this vinyl, this tech wrap vinyl is awesome. I love it. Now for my favorite. This is definitely my favorite. The way this purple puff vinyl pops off of this black, unmatched. So now I have another hoodie to add to my hoodie collection. And I would definitely say try out this puff vinyl if you haven't already. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, watching today's video. I hope that you were inspired. Maybe you learned a little something along the way. I hope to see you in my next video, but don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you know when I post another video. I wouldn't want you to miss it. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.